An incident took the tennis world by surprise. It was the incident of Novak Djokovic's disqualification for hitting a linebacker. Let's take a look at this incident. Before we move ahead with our video, I'm Yash from Simply Boy Dog and you're watching Body Language Classified. What happened here? Why do you think Novak Djokovic was disqualified? Did his body language play a role in this? So stay with me as we analyze this whole incident piece by piece and see what was happening in it. During this whole incident, when we look at Novak Djokovic, do we see any kind of apologetic behavior by him? If yes, let's try and understand what is the real reason behind this apologetic behavior. Whether it is because of hitting a linebacker or because he's getting disqualified from the certain tournament. Let us first take a look at how Djokovic is showing his apologetic behavior by his body and what all things are changing in his body to portray this kind of behavior by him. When we look at Djokovic while conversing with the referee or requesting the referee to take some other route other than disqualifying him from the tournament, we see him shrinking his body frame. Now what does shrinking his body frame means? When we look at Djokovic over here, we see him bringing his arms closer to his body and bringing his legs close to each other, making his body frame appear smaller than normal. Now, how would this help Djokovic? When he makes his body frame smaller than normal, it would help him appear more submissive and more apologetic, allowing him to convince the referee so that he will let him go. When we look at Djokovic while he's trying to convince the referees to let him continue for the rest of the tournament, we start to see him showing his palms a lot during this conversation. Now, what does this mean? Let's take a look.
Convincing from the Djokovic side going on here, and it's not looking good.
When we see Djokovic showing his palms to the referee, it means that he's just trying to convey to the referees that he means no harm and he just want to continue the tournament as it was going before. How would this help Djokovic? If we are able to see someone's palms while conversing with them, we are able to trust them more easily. They appear more warm and more friendly to us. So that is what Djokovic is trying to do with the referee. Here when we look at Djokovic, we can see that while conversing with the referees, he is touching his nose, he is touching his suprasternal notch. These are the signs of a person who is feeling highly stressed. These behaviors are known as pacifying behaviors. Pacifying behaviors are the behaviors which are done by people when they are feeling highly stressed to calm themselves down. If he was looking this apologetic and submissive while conversing with the referees, why do you think they didn't allow him to play? Why do you think they didn't even give him a second chance? We think that there are two reasons why did this happen, and both have to do with how did he behave during the incident. So let's take both of these reasons one by one and see what could have been better. First reason is when we look at Djokovic while conversing with the referees before the decision of him being completely disqualified from the tournament was finalized, his body language was completely different. There was a drastic change in his behavior when he got to know that he will be disqualified from this tournament and he was pleading to the referees. Let's take a look into the finer details what changed in Djokovic when he was told that he was going to be disqualified. Now, on the screen you can see on one hand, Djokovic is casually laughing and smiling at the referee while conversing with him. But on the other hand, where he gets the confirmation that he will be disqualified from the tournament, look how he is laughing. When he looks at the referees, he's smiling and laughing, not because he's amused, but because he gets to understand that he is losing this argument. In this scene, we can also see both the referees turned away from Djokovic. When we compare Djokovic from before and after he got to know that he will be disqualified, we see in the first clip, we don't see his lips drying up while conversing with the referees. But when we look at Djokovic, when he got to know that he will be disqualified and there is no getting away from it, his lips starts to dry up. Here, look at the screen, you can see in detail how he licks his lips again and again while discussing with the referees. Why does this happen? When he is experiencing high amounts of stress because of being disqualified from the tournament, he starts to become highly stressed, and when people experience high amounts of stress, their lips tend to dry up. So they constantly try to wet their lips and lick their lips. Now, on the other hand, let's take a look at Djokovic further in the conversation when he got to know that he will be disqualified from this tournament. Here we can see that his blink rate has drastically increased, and we can also see an eye flutter in his eye. What is eye flutter? When someone blinks their eyes very quickly like this. It is known as eye flutter. Why does this happen? Usually eye flutter happens when people have a lot of information or to think about in their mind, and when they do not know or are not sure about what they are saying. While we observed Djokovic in this conversation with the referees, we saw few things that changed in him when he got to know that he will be disqualified. And the other reasons that we discussed previously about him being apologetic and submissive while conversing with the referees all happened after he got to know that there is no other option than being disqualified. So we can conclude with that is he was only feeling apologetic because he was getting disqualified, not because he hurt a linebacker. Let's take a look at reason number 2. Reason 2. The manner he reacted during the incident and the linebacker could have played a role in this decision making, as non-verbal communication is noticed by one and all present over here. Now, when we look at the video, we can see when he realizes that his ball is going to hit the lady, he gets startled and reacts. But we don't see any kind of hurry in his face to approach this person who has hurt and who has fallen down and shouting in pain. Then comes the time when he is discussing with the supervisors and the referee about how there is no need for her to go and visit a doctor or a hospital. Even if he felt sorry for her, the relaxed smile and absolutely no tension on his face or the body was not certainly helping his case. And this was perceived by the judges and the Grand Slam supervisors. Now to conclude, all in all, there are a lot of conspiracies out there which show that why this superstar was disqualified from the tournament. But according to us, we believe that his behavior during the whole incident has also played a major role in the decision making. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, drop in a like. If you love the video, subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for such body language analysis. Tada, bye bye. This is Yash signing off.